So guys, we're going to be hearing about hardware startups in Lebanon. From my amazing panel today, we've got Jamil Corbani, CEO of Green Studios. We've got Ziad Yammine, Managing Partner at YLE. And we got Fadi Daou, CEO of Multilane. So do you guys have presentations that you want to run through? Who wants to start first? Okay. So basically, how about we all start off with you guys talking a bit more about what you're doing right now, why you're doing what you're doing, and just sharing with the audience a bit more about, hardware innovation in Lebanon.
Can you put on the slide, please? No, but it's only one slider.
Yeah, they are figuring out the slides. I'm so sorry. I'm looking at their computer and they actually are. So they will find your slides.
Okay.
Are those the slides you're looking for?
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Jamil Corbani. Our company, Green Studios, is less than 6 years old. We developed it in Lebanon, 2 architects and an agriculture engineer and myself. We invented a system to plant vertically on buildings in super hot weathers. And as you see in the upper picture above, that's how we like to see our future cities looking. We got some awards earlier in 2012 and 13, especially from MIT. We have patents registered in the US now, and we're opening our Dubai office in, I guess, less than 1 month. We secured somehow good investment, a Series B investment lately. So we're opening in Dubai, and that's it basically. Thank you for being here.
Awesome, thank you. Ziad, would you like to talk to us a bit more about what you're doing?
My name is Ziad Yammine. I'm a partner in YL Engineering. Shall I run the slides?
He's got slides too.
I have a presentation.
Okay,
if you want.
no problem.
Okay. طلع. Okay. Let me stand here and see my. Okay. I'll be talking about another aspect of technology, Lebanon. Basically, when you hear the word technology, you think information technology. Okay, there are other aspects of it. Let me see which button. You see, there's when you think of information technology, the first thing that comes to mind is software development or somebody having a great idea that nobody ever thought of, and all you need is the luck to find a good investor who will trust, believe in you, and you've got it made. Okay. Luckily, there's other ways to win the lottery where you have more chances. Okay. It's to go for the traditional technology. There's opportunities in basically every field, in agriculture, in civil engineering, and everything. But one thing that we have in Lebanon that really makes it suitable for technology, or our kind of technology, is that we have an activity that has a very high value added, which is necessary in an expensive place like Lebanon. We don't need a lot of resources, whether it's energy, land, or labor. We don't need a lot of capital, so it's very important for a startup. We're not counting on investors too much. And we're no longer restricted to call it developed countries. because of globalization, we can import and export our products easily. Okay. Oops. Okay. Lebanon is really well suited for development of technology. We have supposedly 100 engineers per 10,000 citizens. Israel has 135 engineers per 10,000. Lebanon's exports in technology, 41 million, Israel 9.6 billion. That's a factor of 40 per capita or per engineer. Okay? And yet, we still have people in the order of engineers that claim that we have too many engineers in Lebanon. Okay. Let me talk about our company, YLE. We started, my partner and I, unofficially. We got a contract to computerize a machine for the Industrial Research Institute. Okay. Then we got our first export contract. And then in 2001, we finally registered the company. We were no longer freelancers. We had enough volume to justify having a business. Okay? Then immediately afterwards, we had registered in Germany because the costs in Germany are lower than in Lebanon. And 2002, we started selling for about, well, we reached a total sales of $1 million, but we were still a 2 or 3 people company. Okay? By 2007, we started selling about $1 million per year. Okay, apparently I missed it. We have participated in many shows and so on. Shanghai in 2014, and we won a innovation award. We have sold to China, high technology to China, not based on price. We have sold to Germany, also high technology, not based on price only. And now our sales are around $2 million per year. And we're opening a branch sometime soon in China. Okay, what we have, things that are totally different from computer software or hardware. We have actual machines to do testing equipment, to do testing of metals and plastics. 98, we sold our first testing machine. We then developed around 2000, the year 2000, this data acquisition system that's used by universities and labs. We have worked for the steel industry in Lebanon and developed a very nice product, but unfortunately, the steel industry in Lebanon died. We delivered our first CNC control system, in 2002, I believe. And what we have here is another CNC machine that was delivered to Dubai. Okay. So also, more fiberglass pipe testing equipment. Okay. In 2005, we got into the research of universities. And we have sold our first reaction wall strong floor system that's for simulating earthquakes, and it was sold to AUB. And the product down there we have on display outside. It's to measure and take pictures of pipelines that have been installed. And these are machines for long-term testing of fiberglass. It's basically for accelerated life testing. Okay, and below is our latest product installed at Balamand University. It's for structural testing. Okay. It wasn't all successes. We have had our share of negative events. For example, in 2001, after we had done a contract to supply 5 machines, we found out that the client was copying our machine by themselves. During the financial crisis of 2008, our sales dropped dramatically, and that's why when we turned to local universities to develop products for the universities, okay? And the most important hurdle we're always finding is recruiting good engineers in Lebanon, because Lebanon ranks first in migration. Okay, thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And now moving on to Fadi.
Yes. I'm going to stand up. Actually, I don't have a presentation. I want to give you a brief history of what we've done at the company. I returned to Lebanon in 2000. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, good. So I returned to Lebanon in 2007, mainly to develop high-tech products. I guess the conference here is, or the panel is for hardware. That's very broad. So prior to that, I started a number of companies, sold a number of companies in the US. Today, Multilane, which was started about 8 years ago, is located in my village of Humail. The company employs 30 engineers in Lebanon, and we have engineers and teams in both Taiwan as well as California. Multilane is a leader, global leader, #1 in its industry segment in high-speed signal testing for the backbone, for the internet, for the optical transport, for semiconductors. We have today 80 products that we compete with at a global level. We participate actively in the standards. We are not copier, but we really develop products that are used in the industry as standard. The company's revenues have been doubling year over year for the past 4 years. We're on target this year to also hit 100% growth in revenue. And that's in the high-tech sector, where I believe this is close to being near a record globally. Operating out of Lebanon has been very difficult, mainly for hardware or physical-related products, or products that require movement by something other than the internet. Our policies, economy is based on consumption. There's very little production of high-tech equipment or physical products that cross borders. On this basis, that makes our industry segment very challenging to continue to grow. Our operating model today, to be able to circumvent this and still be able to manage a growth, is we design the products in Lebanon, we qualify the products in Lebanon, but we manufacture the products out of the factories in China and Taiwan, and we ship them to end customers. Our customers are global, who's who across the world of anyone who's producing communication technology. I name a few: Cisco, Alcatel, Juniper, Huawei, Fujitsu, Hitachi, Sony, Google, Facebook, Intel, Dell, HP. Nearly we have about 200 customers, 80 products, and we continue to grow. Our path forward from here on is we want to develop an ecosystem or a campus for high technology companies to incubate multiple high technology companies. This project we hope to kickstart in early 2016. Actually, we started, but just we want to take physical action. It will be capable of accommodating 500 to 600 employees. It will have space for dozens of companies. It will include an incubation part for high-tech, a prototype facility for high-tech equipment, production, all for developing technology-based products. I guess it's a roadmap. There's nothing physical today, but there is a will, and it's something that we'll start executing in 2016. I'd like to give a couple examples why such a thing are very important in the economies, in the industries. I'll give two examples. In Terry Matthews, I don't know if any of you have heard of Terry Matthews, founder of Newbridge. He, 20 years ago, he bought a large parcel of land in Kanata, Ottawa, and built a high technology park. Today, in that high-tech park, there is Sienna, Cisco, Alcatel, Newbridge, and maybe Fairchild. And GDP of that area is near $2 billion. And that was an individual initiative by Terry Matthews, the founder of Newbridge. Another example, which is relevant, why such campuses for high-tech are relevant. And why they're relevant, because you need an ecosystem. You need to have the integrated services to build successfully hardware product. Another example, I was visiting our office in Taiwan last month, and I started asking about the technology park. They said this is a science park. So the park is called Hsinchu Science Park, was started as a government initiative 4 years ago in Hsinchu with a space of 6.5 square kilometers. 6.5 square kilometers, that's 2 kilometers by 3 kilometers. Today, Hsinchu Science Park has a gross GDP of $32 billion. They employ 154,000 people, 6,000 of which are PhDs, 40,000 have master's degrees, 54,000 have electrical engineering degrees. Hsinchu Science Park for the past 10 years has been growing at 5% per year because they've reached capacity. They've reached Hsinchu, H-S-I-N, Hsinchu Science Park. This is one of 11 science parks in Taiwan. And that single science park has produced $32 billion, or produces on a yearly basis, $32 billion of GDP. It houses MediaTek, TSMC. These are the leading semiconductor companies worldwide. And again, at this level in Lebanon, we really don't have any infrastructure today, any technology, any hardware, but hopefully we will be, or someone will be able to produce such a thing. Thanks.
Thank you, Fadi. So before we open it up to the floor, I'm going to ask a couple of questions, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to jump in. So for starters, could you share with us a bit more about, what do you think are the most predominant sectors that are growing in hardware?
There's something very interesting about predominant sectors. The challenge is, any sector that can leverage the human capital and the resources, especially that are available in Lebanon, that are being produced in Lebanon, can be very successful. The challenge today are really a lot of red tape, the policies, the customs issues that we have in Lebanon prevent you from entering into the global market. So any sector that leverages the human capital can succeed, but there are a few obstacles that need to be mitigated.
I agree 100%. We have a lot of hurdles with customs, and this is one of the reasons we opened a branch in Germany, was that it was much easier to import and export out of Germany than it is out of Lebanon. Our engineering work is still made mostly in Lebanon, where we capitalize on the human resources.
Well, I'm not sure what's happening industries in Lebanon, but with the globalization, we would not have any big industries in Lebanon, that's for sure, because we're going to be competing with Indians and Chinese, and in countries where you have a lot of economy of scale. So I believe in Lebanon, I would see emerging industries where they belong to like niche markets, like super niche markets where Lebanon has some comparative advantage to his natural market, the Arab world. That's mostly it, but I'm not really aware what's happening, you know. In our case, we have a great advantage manufacturing our vertical plant systems here in Lebanon because we have great cost comparative advantage compared to anyone else. And it comes with technical support and service. So it's not only the product, there's a service to it, and which makes us mostly super competitive vis-a-vis other companies in the world.
Okay, got that. So you guys talked about some of the challenges in the Lebanese hardware ecosystem. What are some of the successful Lebanese hardware startups that have made it global, like outside of Lebanon? The ones that have started up in Lebanon and have gone overseas and have done well?
I'm not aware of any, in all honesty. There was another company that I started in Lebanon in 2009, and I sold that company to IPG Photonics that develops optical transport network. But again, it still operates in Lebanon as an R&D company, but it's part of a NASDAQ traded company. But going global, we hope to set the pace and chart new waters and already do it. Again, today, we are succeeding as Multilane globally. We are beating our competitors. Even our main competitors are in discussion with us to OEM our products under the label, so it's private label. And all our products that we produce in Taiwan say on them made in Lebanon.
Hey, there you go.
Bravo.
Well, the major part that's still in Lebanon, or the main reason we can still produce in Lebanon is that we are after the high value added items. I mean, if we were producing a mass produced item, it would be much cheaper in Taiwan or at Fadi. But when we're dealing with lab equipment, they are already high-tech and expensive items that we can afford to produce some of it in Lebanon. That's basically what's keeping us here. And that's my recommendation to anyone to look for something, for a niche, a very small, specific niche that can, that you can become a leader in, and which has a high value added.
In general, I believe anyone can build the processes of manufacturing, the best process of manufacturing for any product can build it here and can test it here and can improve it here. But it really depends on the traction and the demand. If you're going super high scale, there's no way you can stay in Lebanon. But if you're not, you can even stay. But to do the testing and to, reinvent the machines and the processes, you can all do them here at a great cost.
So what you're saying is that do R&D in Lebanon, do the high-end work in Lebanon, but go manufacture somewhere more cheaper.
I'm gonna manufacture in Lebanon all my life. We have a very specific technology, to plant vertically and on roofs. It's our own. We don't want to share it with anyone. We're gonna manufacture here, no problem.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So you were sharing with us that you went to Taiwan to see this facility, and there were like tens of thousands of PhDs and master's people. What sort of talent do you think is lacking in Lebanon in the hardware ecosystem, and how do you think we can grow that?
Well, Lebanon graduates many people that have promising potentials. We are working actively today with a number of the Lebanese universities with their curriculum, and also to train some of the fresh graduates so that they can develop certain applied capability to be able to be useful in the industry. That's been very successful, and we've taken batches of 10, 15 graduates at times and put them through an intensive training to give them or enable them with the skills so they can start becoming productive. However, we do lack a lot on the research side. For instance, we don't have PhDs. The universities do not have a lot of advanced research. Today, we sponsor research with universities in Minnesota. You know, in different parts of the world, we sponsor the research, we want the outcome. We don't have enough of that in Lebanon. Again, this is a nascent technology, and it's very challenging. It's a long road ahead, but I believe it can blossom, it can grow very quickly once we have the infrastructure to back it up.
Fadi, how do you manage to be? You're in the US or in Lebanon? You're in Lebanon, yeah? Do you have business?
I am in Lebanon. I live in my village, 20 minutes from the city, and I work out of there.
You still manage business?
Watch out for Humail Technology Park. It will be very soon coming out in the media. It will be made up of 20,000 square meters of office space, community center, high-tech facility, and that is a project that I want to see through in the next few months, provided that we'll be able to cross through the red tape and corruption through our lovely government, or government employees.
And how much have you increased your staff from the past 5 years until today? How many jobs have you created?
We in the tens. Today, again, we're in the 30 in terms of headcount of R&D in Lebanon.
Okay.
If we bring production and testing to Lebanon, we'll add another 30.
Okay.
Our revenue per employee, per individual person at the company matches that of Silicon Valley.
Well, bravo. Bravo.
So
Sounds great.